GLP-1 medications for weight loss are barely a decade old, and yet diet culture has already built an entire narrative around them. And the fantasy goes like this: lose the weight, hit your goal, graduate off the medication, which means stepping down, weaning off, and earning your exit like it's some kind of diploma in metabolic discipline. And that sounds reasonable. It sounds responsible. It sounds like what a good patient would do. But a brand new study called the SURMOUNT MAINTAIN trial shows that this is the fastest way for you to undo everything that you've worked for. I'm Dr. Dan, a pharmacist and obesity expert. In this video, I'm going to show you exactly what this trial found. We're going to talk about why your biology was never actually going to let you graduate from the medication and what you should do instead. So to start, let me show you the lie, because once you see it, you can't unsee it. For years, diet culture has told you that the end game is maintenance. And now with the medications, that means weaning off. That GLP-1s are a bridge, a crutch that you throw away once your habits are locked in and your willpower comes back. I call this the graduation fantasy. And it's something that's been sold by wellness influencers in order to make a buck. And it's also whispered in the corners of comment sections by people who still think that obesity is a character flaw. And this whole narrative, it's dangerous. And it's dangerous because it feels good. I mean, of course, nobody wants to be on a medication forever. And so we are primed to believe that there is an exit. Now, let's talk about the SURMOUNT MAINTAIN trial, because the data is clear and it is not subtle. Phase 1 of the study was 60 weeks long. Everyone enrolled had obesity and they were put on Zepbound and titrated to a dose of about 10 to 15 milligrams once a week. And at the end of 60 weeks, the average weight loss from baseline was approximately 22%. Then, at week 60, everyone got split up into one of three groups. And this is where the data gets real. Group 1 stayed on the 10 to 15 milligrams of Zepbound once weekly. Group 2 had their dose stepped down to 5 milligrams once a week, so they're still on the drug, but they're on a dose that's a fraction of what they were on previously. And Group 3 gets the placebo. Full stop, no medication, just the habits they supposedly built and lifestyle support. And then everyone waited another 52 weeks or an entire year. And what happens next is the most honest answer we've ever had about GLP-1 maintenance. Now, take a look at this graph right here. The red line is the group that stayed on the full dose. And as you can see, they maintained 100% of the weight that they lost, about 22.4% from baseline. Group 2, the blue line, who had their dose dropped to 5 milligrams once a week, as you can see, at the end of 52 weeks, they regained about 5.5% of their baseline weight loss. Still far below where they started, but the regain is real and the trend is still creeping up. And Group 3, the white lines here, is the placebo group, and they regained the most. Even with some of those patients getting a rescue medication when they gained too much weight, as you can see, they still gained back over half of the weight that they lost. Let that sit for a second. These are people who for 60 weeks did everything right. They lost over 22% of their baseline weight. They showed up, they titrated, they tolerated. And within 52 weeks of coming off the medication, biology was already pulling them back. This isn't willpower. This isn't habits. This is the biology problem. And let me explain what I mean. And to do that, we need to move away from this idea of willpower and go to what actually is happening inside of the brain. First off, you have your hypothalamus, which regulates energy balance and hunger. And it's constantly working to maintain what the body perceives as a safe weight. At the same time, your brain's reward system is highly sensitive to what's going on in the environment, especially in our modern food environment with all of the hyper-palatable, delicious tasting foods that are out there. And so when we get a collision of these systems with the modern food environment and an environment our biology was never actually designed for, we get some signals that can stay active and stay on. They can stay persistent, constantly running in the background, and this is what we call food noise. That's persistent hunger, and that's a drive to eat even when your body has enough calories. And GLP-1 medications don't remove or fix or correct these systems. Instead, they modulate them. The signals are still there, but they're quieter, more controlled, and less intrusive. At higher doses, the control is stronger. At lower doses, the control is there, but it's less consistent. So, when someone goes from a higher dose and drops to a 5 milligram dose, they're still getting some benefit, but sometimes there can be some leakage. That food noise breaks through, there's a bit of disruption and a bit of regression to old patterns. And that is that 5% regain. Not a failure, just a reduced control of the system. And if you stop completely, that modulation is gone altogether. And if you've lost weight, your biology is even more sensitive. Those signals come back stronger, more persistent, and a lot harder to ignore. That's regain, and that's biology doing exactly what it's designed to do: protect you. Again, medication doesn't remove that system. Higher doses, all they're doing is just keeping it under better control. Now, before I tell you what to actually do with this information, if you're feeling stuck or are wanting help in order to develop a realistic maintenance plan, well, you're exactly the kind of person I developed my Dr. Dan's Empowerment Hub for. It's where you learn the science, join me live, and connect with people that are going through the exact same phase in their journey. Because the hardest part isn't losing the weight, it's what happens afterwards. The maintenance phase that nobody talks about properly. And today you can try it completely for free for 14 days by going to drdanshub.com or clicking the link down below in the description. You don't have to figure this out alone. Come and join us and chat with me to get the connection and the help that you need. Okay, here's the part that the trial doesn't say out loud, but it is the most important takeaway for this entire video. You are making this choice right now, whether you realize it or not. Every dose that you take or don't take is a bet on one of three futures. Future 1, the full guard. You stay on the 10 or 15 or 5 or whatever dose it was that got you there, you stay on it. And you keep every single pound that you worked for off. This is the only path to full maintenance, and this trial proves it. The trade-off? You stay on the medication. And if that bothers you, keep listening, because the other options definitely do come with a cost, but they are options you can consider. Future 2 is the compromise. Here you step down your dose to a lower level, whether it's 5 milligrams or another lower level below that. And you keep off most of what you lost, which in this study was about 17% from baseline. It was up from the lowest at 22%. It's still a substantial amount of weight loss, but that's the compromise. We drop the dose down and it looks like the weight comes back on. And again, that's not a failure. That's not because you didn't work hard enough. That is predictable biology. So the big question you need to ask yourself is, are you okay with this trade-off? And future 3 is the fantasy. You stop the medication altogether. And unfortunately, even with ongoing lifestyle support, the data shows with brutal clarity that most of that weight is going to come back on for a majority of people. And worse yet, it comes back fast. But again, it's not because you're weak, it's not because you're failing. It's because the underlying biology is still there. Now, a quick gut check before I wrap this thing up. Drop a 1, 2, or 3 in the comments down below. 1, if you're doing the full guard protocol. 2, if you're going to do the compromise and bring your dose down. Or drop a 3 if you're going to come off the drug altogether. I want to see who's in the room, what are we talking about, and this also helps me plan for future videos. Now, here's what I need you to hear, and I mean really hear. If you're sitting there thinking, I don't want to be on this medication forever, I get it, and nobody does. But a lot of that feeling you're experiencing isn't coming from science. It's coming from diet culture. Because you see, nobody tells someone with type 1 diabetes, oh, you get to graduate from your insulin. And nobody tells somebody with high blood pressure that once your blood pressure is under control, you can then stop the medication. Obesity, just like diabetes, just like hypertension, is a chronic disease. And these medications treat the biology, but they don't cure it. And staying on treatment isn't failure. It isn't a character flaw. It's what the evidence supports. And if anyone in your life tries to shame you for that, well, send them this video and let the data speak for itself. I'm Dr. Dan. Hit that subscribe button, and as I always sign off, please remember, it is those small tweaks that lead to the massive peaks.